So pastoring a church at New Life, we planted a church in Calvert County, Maryland, and in 2021, felt like God was calling our family to do something crazy. And that crazy thing for us was we sold our house, we sold most everything we owned, and we moved into a $28,000 2013 fifth wheel that we gutted and we renovated. But it was crazy because during that time, like, we step out in obedience, and a lot of you know the story, but my brother was murdered. So it's like we step out, we sell everything, we're going on this journey we believe God's calling us on, and then it's just tragedy hits almost immediately for us. But he redeemed that situation in so many incredible ways, and it kind of birthed the ministry that came out of that whole season. And so if you fast forward to the following year, we took this trip with our two kids, a toddler and an infant. So if you ever get a chance to take a toddler and an infant across the country in a fifth wheel, don't. But we went all the way across the country, and the whole trip was prayer, and that trip was just, God, what are you asking us to do? Like, we knew he called us to do this, and we made plans as to why we were supposed to do it. But if we were honest, we didn't fully understand why. But I had a mentor during that time. He told me, he said, Curtis, you know why you came, but you don't know why you're here. Like, you know why you think you're doing this, but just keep your eyes open. And through that trip, it kind of merged my, I guess, background in a way. Like, I had a foot in the business world and ministering to business owners. I had a business consulting company, but then also my foot was in the church world, obviously, and as a pastor and spending time with pastors. And as we traveled, I started meeting all of these people that weren't in or building a traditional church. There were people that were starting churches on beaches and parks and jujitsu gyms and coffee shops, and they were giving all the money they were raising to water projects or homeless projects. And during that time, we kind of found our spot in it all. And during that trip, we were reading Jeremiah. In Jeremiah 29, he's writing to the exiles, and he says, work for the peace and the prosperity of the city to which I've called you into exile, the shalom. Not just the peace, but the peace and prosperity, like not the prosperity gospel, but the economy of it. Like, plant gardens, have kids, settle down, do the thing that you do and do it at a high level and do it really well. So I just started meeting business owners that were using their businesses to disciple people. And we started bringing them in to help these church planters develop sustainable mission projects. And so through that whole process, what we now started, the ministry we started, the Oasis Project, was birthed. And essentially that's what we do now. We work with business owners and help get them on mission. We work with these missional church planters. We bring them together to develop sustainable mission projects. So we have churches that we've been sending out across the States. My wife and now 3 kids and I just moved to Sweden, and God is just pulling people and resources and circumstances together. And I think it's the most fun I've ever had in my life. We've had to step out in faith in so many different ways, but like, I'm a history nerd. So the more that we've gone through the history of the church, there's this group called the Moravians, and they called themselves, we are the church within the church. Their goal wasn't to stop the way that church was running with the chapels and the buildings, but their goal was to be the church within it, to drive energy toward it. That was their focus. So that's what we feel called to be, is to be the church within the church. And if you want to keep in touch, just go to the website, oasisproject.church, and then you can sign up for the email list. We're not on social media, so we send pictures of our crazy kids and all the adventures. So we love you guys.